it's Andrew from In the Loop Live here at Universal Studios Japan. It's a Saturday, it's going to be really busy, but we hope to check out Flying Dino and a bunch of the old school rides like Jaws and Back to the Future. So let's head on inside and see what it's all about. You can see a pretty cool entrance plaza, all 3D looking, celebrating their 15th anniversary. You can see 45 minutes before park open, crazy lines, crazy crowds to get in. It's going to be a busy day, but these Japanese parks are known for always being really, really busy. Good thing we bought Express. You also see here the entrance. Gatekeeper wasn't the first coaster to go with park entrance. This probably looks even better. Universal Studios Japan. So I'm totally shooting this out of order because when the park opened this morning, it was a complete madhouse. They opened it about 30 minutes before scheduled opening, and pretty much you had to go to your choice of rides first thing, or you risk totally waiting at least a couple hours. For example, we ran to Backdraft, which is the B&M coaster going backwards, first thing in the morning, and within about 5 minutes of the park opening, it was already posting about a 70-minute wait. We only waited about 45, but by the time we got out, it was over 100. So the crowds here are just insane. It's one of the busiest theme parks in the world, and it completely shows. It doesn't help that we're here on a Saturday, but we bought Express. I definitely recommend buying Express. That certainly helped us out a lot today. Skip some lines, but it does sell out. So much so that the signs for Express in front of the park permanently say sold out on them. So if you're coming here, make sure you buy it online weeks in advance. We bought ours a couple weeks out, and it was the only Express they had left was for a couple of rides. But anyways, I figured we'd take a little stroll down the main street here. Here's a Hollywood Dream. This time it's forward. As you can see, much like Tokyo Disneyland, if you're familiar with that, the main area here is covered. I'm not sure exactly why, but I would probably venture it's because with the park being open year-round, you know, it gets cold, and this probably helps cut down on the window a little bit, as well as it rains a lot here in Japan. So even just having this little bit of protection overhead certainly helps. I know when we were at Tokyo Disneyland, it was raining, and it was really nice to pop into Main Street and have it be undercover. So, like I said, since I am filming this a little bit out of order, I've been in the park for about 6-7 hours now, and really nice park. It's very, very similar to Orlando, if you can't tell already, and by the other clips I'll show. Very similar to Orlando, but maybe the Orlando park of, you know, the late 90s, early 2000s. It has, you know, some of the old favorites like Jaws and such, as well as Back to the Future, which is actually closing in about a month here. So, you know, one last chance to get on that ride. But the park's really good. It is really, really busy, and like I said, Express certainly helped. But the lines are manageable. They do have single riders on pretty much everything, and the good thing is, so far we found most of the ride times have been inflated. I know there's a lot of videos and photos on the internet about Flying Dino having a couple hour, 7, 8 hour, 12 hour waits or whatever the first couple weekends. I just can't believe that. I mean, they're posting big numbers for every ride, and we're getting on in half the time. So I think they definitely like to overinflate here. But all right, well, as you kind of see, it's just a lot of people and a lot of buildings right here. So we'll cut to some of the other adventures around the park. Just rode Back to the Future for what I guess would probably be the last time. Don't get me wrong, I love the movies, very, very good movies, but the ride is just incredibly dated, and you can see the building looks dated as well. The ride was really rough, so can't say it's a bad thing they're getting rid of it. A little disappointed, but put it in perspective, everything in the park right now is over 150-minute wait. This is 30 minutes, so clearly it doesn't have the popularity as some of the other attractions, so hopefully they'll replace it with something good. I did shoot a couple videos inside the queue, so I'll put those in here next. After a few minute walk from the park, it's kind of deep off the park here. We made it back here. You can see it looks very similar to Orlando, but offhand I feel like you can see the castle a little bit more, kind of pointing out right there in the back. Essentially the same thing, except there's not a great roller coaster you can get on through that gate. It's just a fake door. We're on the castle, and instead of Jurassic Park being right there, it's all on this dark black color lake. Kind of cool, kind of creepy. You see the backside of Hogsmeade there. We're on like a little deck that jets out into here. You can see Hippogriff as well as the hotels right there. Little Harry Potter show where half of it's in Japanese, half of it is in English.
Hello there. Thank you for joining. 呪文と杖の言い方は分かりますか? 呪文は Wingardium Leviosa. Right.
Flying Dinosaur, the new B&M flyer here at Universal. First off, I know there's all those crazy photos from a couple months ago where it showed crazy long lines. Today is a super busy day at the park, and you can see it's only 160 minutes only, but I mean that's short compared to what it's been recently. So kind of walk through the land here, and you'll see the ride looks really cool, kind of like this mix of track flying all overhead. But one thing that really stands out is there is nets everywhere. Everywhere the ride goes, there is nets. It's kind of a little obnoxious in part, but luckily it doesn't take away from it too much, because like I said, it's a pretty cool mix of track coming all underneath the ride here throughout the land. Here is the Riverboat Adventure ride. But really, the crazy element is this, I'll get the coaster nerd term wrong here, but it's like inline twist, that twist again coming down into like a pretzel loop kind of thing before swinging back up. So you, if you see that, if you follow the track there, you actually flip twice, flip right there, and then you flip again right there. And it's quite crazy, kind of unexpected, our first ride, and super intense. So there's some crazy food options here. The Japanese love their churros. What is this, Brian?
This is a churro hot dog.
How is it?
It's absolutely amazing.
What's the bun thing?
It's pretty much like a sweet Hawaiian bread with a little bit of cinnamon sugar on it. It's a chocolate churro And then the sauce is like a mango and some other kind of like red fruit sauce. So it looks like ketchup and mustard.
Nice, nice. And that churro stand's just down the road from, we're waiting in this line right now to get banana chocolate minion churros, because again, churros are on every corner here and people love their churros. There goes Backdraft, the backwards train on Hollywood Dream. Now to get really nerdy for a few seconds here, they run 4 trains on it, at least they are today. One of them is Backdraft. So the Backdraft line obviously moves a lot slower, but when you think about it, the regular line still has your standard, 3 train capacity. So lines move pretty well. But to compare the two, again, to get super nerdy, never been a big fan of backwards coasters, but it was actually really, really good. Again, to get nerdy, the airtime, typical B&M airtime going forward is the nice floater air. Going backwards, I found it to be a little bit more ejector, kind of intimate style, which is more my cup of tea, so I really like that. And it's kind of cool to just go backwards on a B&M hyper like that, where there's a lot of speed, a lot of airtime, quite different. But that pretty much wraps up Universal. We spent about 12 hours in the park because they have a really weird policy that there's 0 re-entry, which makes it really disappointing when your hotel is literally straight out ahead there. About you can see your hotel room from the park, and you're like, I would love to go back for a few seconds and freshen up or something, but you can't. So I think I spent the longest I ever did at Universal Park today, 12 hours. But all in all, a really good park, really solid. It's very, very similar to Orlando. Unlike Disney Seas or something like that, I wouldn't, book a plane ticket to come out here just because of this park. But you're definitely in Japan, where you're doing a roller coaster trip or just, sightseeing. If you're in the Osaka area, again, it's about 4 or 5 hours south of Tokyo. Bullet train can get you down here in about 2.5. Definitely worth visiting. It's again, when you compare it to Orlando, saying it's a lot like Orlando, that's not a bad thing. And then you add in Flying Dino, and that's a solid ride. So that was a really, really cool addition. The only kind of disappointing thing is, we've come to really expect some great theming from Universal lately, and Flying Dino is just like a typical B&M, just plopped right in the land, and all the nets didn't help with the theme. So a little disappointed that they didn't theme it at all, but overall, solid ride. So that wraps up Universal. Hope you enjoyed it. Figured I'd do a couple quick seconds here walking out of the park and showing you City Walk. One of the really cool things about it is the trains that connect to Osaka, which then connect up to Tokyo, are actually literally right at the other end of City Walk. So it's a 2-minute walk from the trains to the park, which again makes it super convenient if you guys are ever trying to come here, you're visiting somewhere else and you want to just pop down to Universal while in Japan. Really easy to do so. And then you can see City Walk's pretty small. It has all your chain restaurants: Red Lobster, Hard Rock, TGI Fridays, and some Japanese chains. And then official Universal hotels are literally right here. That's the hotel we're staying at. And then they have a couple more right behind it. Very reasonable rates. Highly recommend. This one is themed to Los Angeles and Universal history, and just opened a couple months ago. So very nice. So that will wrap it up. Just wanted to show you a little bit of City Walk here in Osaka.